I'm joined now by Greg Abbott. He's the Texas Attorney General. He's also running for governor of the state. Good to have you with us, sir. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Martha.
So, we watched the Supreme Court decision on this. It was a 5-4 decision, which basically found that there wasn't a need anymore in these 11 states to have special restrictions on those states to get permission to change their voting rules. And apparently, Attorney General Eric Holder feels like that's not a done deal. He wants to keep going with this.
Well, I think this is an affront to that Supreme Court decision. It's a direct assault on the United States Constitution. But, Martha, let me give you some context to what's going on here. Within the last year, Barack Obama's presidential national field director came to Texas for the purpose of targeting Texas to turn Texas blue. Now we have Obama's Attorney General coming to Texas using the Voting Rights Act for political purposes. They actually are joining together with the Texas Democrat Party in a lawsuit against the state of Texas, claiming they need to do so for the Voting Rights Act. Martha, this is using the Voting Rights Act for partisan political purposes.
All right, so if what you're saying is the case, then they must believe that the Supreme Court decision gives them, a real unfair disadvantage in Texas, right? Why do they think that?
Well, what the Supreme Court decision in June did was to remove Texas from the pre-approval process whenever we have any kind of changes in our voting laws. And that's not what the Obama administration wants. They want to keep their thumb on the Texas election system, so they are now asking a court to give the Obama administration the authority to be able to pre-approve whatever election changes we may have, especially our voter ID law that we're trying to put into effect.
All right, and explain to everybody exactly how that law would change the voting situation in Texas ahead of your next election.
What it would mean, for instance, this voter ID law that we passed in the state of Texas to ensure integrity in our election system, the Obama administration could hold that up and deny us the ability to implement that law for the upcoming election.
So do you see, obviously a lot of times people want to push things through the court and appeal it for the purposes of dragging it out. So you've got an election, obviously, coming up in the fall, and you see this as a way for them to just sort of, drag the feet on this situation and get through the next election so that you won't be able to make the changes you want to make.
Not just drag it through the next election, but what they have asked the court to do is to give the Obama administration or the executive branch the authority to regulate Texas elections for at least another 10 years, if not longer. They're trying to keep Texas and deny Texas our sovereign rights to regulate our elections in our state, just like the other 49 states.
And they're saying that the voter ID laws that you want to put through would be discriminatory, correct?
They claim that. However, Martha, the United States Supreme Court has already upheld similar voter ID laws. And so what the Obama administration is trying to do is to deny Texas the use of voter ID laws that have already been pre-approved by the United States Supreme Court for use in other states.
All right. So what's your next move as Attorney General of Texas?
I'll be defending against this challenge in a court in San Antonio. Hopefully we will prevail there because I think the facts of the law are clearly on our side. If we do not prevail there, we'll go right back to the United States Supreme Court, where we have won the last 3 voting rights cases against the Obama administration over the past couple of years.
All right. Fascinating fight ahead on both sides. Attorney General Greg Abbott, thank you very much for being with us today, sir. We'll keep watching it.
Thank you, Martha.